Hi, hello, vanakkam, and welcome back to yet another interesting session on Little's Law YouTube channel. So, in this video, we are going to see about how to use XPath assertion and how does the XPath expression works. So, we will see them with three different examples, and at the end of this video, you will understand how does the assertion works and how does the XPath expression works, and you will feel easy to write any XPath expressions. So before we move on to see how does this XPath assertion works, we will see what is an XPath assertion and why do we need this XPath assertion. So this XPath assertion is a useful tool for validating the XML or HTML response returned by a server, and it allows us to extract specified data from the response using XPath expressions and compare it against expected values. So before we see the reasons why we might use the XPath assertion, we will see how to add the XPath assertion and how to add results to it. So to add an XPath assertion, we'll have to right click on the HTTP request. So any HTTP request that you want to do an assertion, just right click on it and click on add and then choose assertions under it, and then finally choose the XPath assertion. So here I'm choosing the XPath assertion, and this is the area where we will give the XPath expression. And there is another listener that we have to add, which is the assertion results, and this will show us the assertion results for the XPath expression that we are adding it here. And the next thing is we have different XML parsing options in here, and before that there is another option to apply. So this is again a similar and a same expression or option which we see in all the other assertions or in all other requests, so which is applying to which part of the script. So whether it is to the main sample and subsamples, or is that to the main sample only or to the subsample only, or in case if we want to use any variable name, we can use it here. So when it comes to the XML parsing options, we could see the use tidy, the quiet report errors, show warnings, and we have options to use the namespaces. We can validate the XML, we can ignore the white space, we can we can choose the fetching external TDD. So we will see what is that one by one. So when it comes to JMeter XPath assertion, using the tidy, so use tidy, the tolerant parser option allows us to enable the use of tidy, which is a library that helps parse and clean up HTML or XML documents with malformed or non-standard syntax. And enabling this option can be useful when working with HTML responses that may have inconsistencies or any errors. So here we will see how to use the use tidy option that is in the XPath assertion. So the tolerant parsing is something. So when this option is enabled, the JMeter uses tidy to parse the HTML or XML responses. Because this tidy performs a tolerant parsing, meaning it tries to interpret and fix common issues or errors which are found in the document structure, and it can handle malformed tags, missing closing tags, unescaped special characters, and other irregularities. The next advantage of using this tidy tolerant parser is this improves the compatibility with HTML responses that may not conform strictly to the XML or HTML standards, and it allows us to work with responses that may have minor issues, making it easier to extract data using XPath expressions. And it is important to note that enabling the use tidy option should be done with caution, as it may alter the structure or content of the response during parsing. If the XML or HTML response is well formed and adheres to the standards, it is generally recommended to disable this option to ensure accurate evaluation of your XPath expressions. So now we will see three examples of how to use the XPath assertion. And for the first XPath assertion, let me run this script and I will show you what is exactly I'm going to take as an XPath assertion for validation. And going to the response data. So this part here, so the head, title. So I just want to validate the title of this page as an assertion, and what is going to be the XPath expression for this. And for this one, so the XPath expression is going to be slash slash double slash head, and then a single slash title, and then another slash which tells us the text is should be JPEG store demo within quotes, within single quotes. And I will explain you why should we give it in this format. So when starting with this double slash, so this select the nodes from the entire document. So the entire document is this, the entire page. So this double slash will select node from the entire document regardless of its location. And then next comes the head. So this selects the head element, and here you can see this selects the head element. So first it goes through the entire document and then it selects the head element, and then we have the single slash, the one slash, which selects the immediate child node of the current node. So the current node now is head and the immediate child node is title. And once the title element is selected, we will next move on to the next element, which is the text. And this specifies a condition on the selected element's text content, and it checks if the text content of the title element is equal to JPEG store demo. So this is what we're going to do here. So the text of is equal to, under a single quotes, we are entering the JPEG store demo, and then let's now validate it. So after entering the XPath assertion, we'll have to validate the expression, and here let me do the validate XPath expression. And once I click on it, I get this valid XPath expression, so which tells me that the expression is successful. And in case if there are any errors or something like a compiling errors, or if anything is wrong, say for example if I'm removing a single quote at the end, so this will tell me that there is a misquoted literal and expected a single quote. So when I give the single quote again and when I click on validate XPath expression, automatically it works fine. So this is the first example, and let's now add the second example. And the second example is going to be the image references. So in most of the scenarios we get some images and we want to check whether that image is present. So in this example we are going to see this particular XPath expression. So let me choose it and let's take it to the XPath expression. And for that, we'll need to add the assertion, which is the XPath assertion, and then under the listener we will add the assertion results. So now let me just paste it here so that we can use it for reference. And then again, now let me bring back the XPath expression here. So it's again the same way, giving double slash, which will take us through the entire document regardless of their location, and then let me give the image. So this selects the image element in the document, and after that let me give the SRC. So here in the top here you can see the SRC, which is the source, and for that giving it here, so let me open a bracket, and if this bracket contains at SRC, so which means this specifies that we are interested in the SRC attribute under the image element. And then once we give the content, so this checks if the value of the SRC attribute contains the text. And for that, let's copy it from here. So in this example, we are going to just give a comma and double quotes, and then we're going to paste the value. So this is something not similar to the previous example where we have the text, but here this is something where we give the src attribute, because here everything comes as a tag, but in this example we have the src as an attribute. So for this example we'll have to give it this way. So we can give it as image contains, the attribute is src, and the text is going to be image logo top bar dot gif. So let's now validate this example using the validate XPath expression, and we have found an error because we haven't closed the bracket. So let's close this bracket and let's validate the XPath expression, and here we can see the XPath expression is valid. And let's now move on to the third example, which is again another simple example. So for that, let's add the assertion, the XPath assertion here, and then let us add the listener, which is the assertion results. So what we're going to do now in this example is we're going to just take the div ID. So this is again a very simple one. So before I end up this video, I just want to show you it's a very simple example. So let's paste this div ID here. And how are we going to do it? So again, a very simple thing. So double slash, which will take us through the entire document, and then giving the div will take us to that element. And here again, ID is an attribute. So to bring the attribute, we'll have to give the @ symbol and then the ID. And here it is again a text. So we can give it as single quote logo, and that's it. So if it is a tag inside a tag, we would need to take it like this. So we'll have the title tag inside the head tag, so we might need a slash, but in case if it is an attribute, we must need this. That is, under the div element we are choosing this attribute with this text, which is the logo. So let us validate the expression, and yes, the expression is valid. So let's now run this test and see how does it work. Let me run this example and click on override existing file, and in the view results tree, so we're getting the results as null. So let's try to fix it. For that, we can go to the results, and here it says the response was null. And then again, let's go back to here. The category ID must end with delimiter. So now we have got this response. So the first response data which shows that the response was null. So let's try to fix this one. So let's go back to the XPath assertion, and here we can see that we have chosen a wrong sampler. So we have chosen JMeter variable name to use. So let's go back and choose the main sample only, and then when coming back to the next one, so here the second one, and let's see here, so it shows that the reference to entity category ID must end with the colon delimiter. And for this one, what I'm going to do now is let's choose the tidy option, so the tolerant parser. So, and let's try to run this again and see how does it work. So let me run the test again, and here I'm clicking on override existing file, and here since I have chosen the correct sampler, so this is working fine. And then again the same way for the next one, which is the image contains src, and since I have chosen the tidy tolerant parser, and the issue is fixed. So in this way we can fix the issue, and this is how the XPath assertion works. And I believe this video would be very useful to you. Please do subscribe to our channel for more interesting and informative videos. Until I meet you in another interesting video, it's bye bye from Vasan Shanmugam and Little's Law.